What's up, YouTube? Today it's getting colder, so unfortunately we're gonna have to take the soft top and the sunshade and the soft cage off of the Jeep and eventually start putting the soft top back on. But first off, we are going to fix this little problem right here. Let me flip the camera around and show you what's going on here on the windshield. And if you know what I'm talking about, you probably can already notice it, but it's been this way since I bought it. When they installed this channel that allows for the soft top connections, you can see underneath here the screws are actually pulling out of the window frame, the windshield frame. So what we're going to do is fix that today. Got a little bit of leakage during the summer, but now that we're going back to winter and fall and I didn't want to deal with it beforehand, we're going to take care of it now. So I got most of the supplies here, some weather stripping, a bunch of zerk nuts and bolts, and hopefully we're going to see, I think that all that stuff should fit. So let's get the top loosened and halfway off, and then we will at least loosen enough that I can pop the lip off and then go from there. Okay, so we got the top part pulled back a little bit. We have some work room. There's a screw right here that holds in the corner, and then I don't know what the previous owner installed this. I don't know what he was doing with it, but I don't know why you'd put the foam here. I didn't look up the original instructions for this thing. I just don't think that that's right from other videos I've done on my own research. And you can kind of see how it pulls up there all the way towards the middle. It's a two-piece design. You kind of see that screw right behind my finger. There it is. So we're going to pull these out and try to do these zerk nuts and see if they'll actually hold a little better. And we'll get to it. All right, so here we go. This is what I'm dealing with. You can see I pulled the foam out of the original part of the tray here, down here. I guess they were doing it to keep the screws in place and block some water, but I was still getting water seepage, which I probably came from in there. So we're gonna pull this off on the driver's side. I'm actually standing in my Jeep right now, and take a look at it, see what we can figure out, and try to do it a little bit better. All right, so I got it cleaned up pretty well here. Need to get some like goof off or whatever to clean it up. So, and got the channel cleaned up as well from the foam. And one thing I noticed is that with these screws, when they did the screws on here, you see these holes, how it's starting to split. Got little cracks here from where the threads bit in, and when they were pulling out, they were starting to crack the metal. This one, I don't know what happened with this one. So when we go to drill this out to put in the nut zerks, we gotta be real careful about that. This one here even has a little burr. So we just need to watch out for that. Be careful. You can see this one's completely cracked out, and we'll take this one at a time and see how it goes. All right, guys, so here we are. Got the holes drilled out for the zerks to go into, even this little corner one. That one's a little interesting. It's got 2 layers of metal you got to go through, so just be careful, make sure you're drilling straight. Yeah. So here is our zerk nut. It's a kit I found laying around from when I was working at the dealership. Fits in there just right. You can find these on Amazon, eBay, all that stuff. You just need to find the right size. I had to drill a 7/16 hole for these. I used a combination of these Harbor Freight step drill bits to get me to that size. The only one I had to use an actual straight drill bit for was over here, so I didn't make this outer hole so big that it couldn't grip. So what I'm going to do is actually put some windshield sealant around the holes around the bottom of these when I put them in, to help seal around that edge. And then I think I'm going to do the weather stripping on the front here to keep water from getting inside. So we'll keep pressing on and see how this goes. All right, guys, day 2. I kind of had to run some errands, and the sealant that I had was all dried up. So there was a hole here, and I put some around all the rib nuts and help with the sealing. Hopefully there won't get any water in there. And you can see all the way across, they're all done. So this kit wasn't the greatest. I had to find a bolt that would fit this thing. And I'm gonna put it together so you can see how this works. There's videos out there if you wanted to look this up and have an actual full tutorial on how this works. So you got the bolt that's in the socket, and you got your wrench, and then the zerk nut, and the bolt goes all the way through. So as you tighten this down, these little arms here start to bend outwards and flatten out as they get tighter and tighter and tighter to create the grip that holds the piece of metal underneath the flange and then in between the arm. So these ones were pretty decent. I wouldn't recommend it though. Like if you can take the money and actually get the riv nut tool and the actual riv nuts, go for it. All the ones that I had were way bigger than this. They're designed for running boards, and I didn't want to put that big of holes in the window frame. If these end up failing on me, I'll end up switching out to them, but this worked okay. Came with the kit. I don't know where I got it. I got it from when I was working at the dealership still, and it had like stainless steel cap bolts. I don't know if you can see them in the seat there. Right there next to the wrench. So I just went out and got some washers and some lock washers and washers, and we're gonna see how this goes. I'm gonna let it set up for a little bit, and then clean it a little bit in between, throw some weather stripping in there, and then go ahead and tighten down the track and see how it goes. You can see it's not perfectly lined up. It should be okay. I can wallow out the holes in the track if I need to get it to line up a little bit better, but we're gonna use the time of day, the daylight left that I got, and try and get this finished up so I can get the soft top on. The silicone that I used was this JB Weld black RTV sealant adhesive. It says it's specifically designed for windshields and glass and all that kind of stuff, and I've used other brands like this. I've used other brand of windshield sealant for projects like this before, and it works great. So it remains flexible, so it hopefully won't crack out, and hopefully we'll get a little bit better sealing on it. So we'll cut this here, and I will continue to work, and I'll give you guys an update when I get back. Bye. All right guys, so it ain't pretty, but I think it'll get the job done. So up top, give you guys a show here. I've got all the bolts lined in there all the way across. I started over here on the corner and kind of sucked in that rightmost one because it would push it inwards, and then kind of got everything lined up after that. Worked my way across to where it laid itself down really easily. But before I did that, I took weather stripping and actually attached it to the front side of the channel itself, this channel here, and then on each half. Then I took a strip all the way across on the back edge, and it's a continuous strip all the way across. So as I tightened everything down, I compressed the seal, and I just used this Auto Marine rubber weather seal. I got it from my local box store, and I don't remember how much it was. I think it was like 15-20 bucks. So then I went back and started to have fun with silicone. Went around every bolt all the way across, patched some of the holes where they had done multiple screws, and then the seam across here, filled everything up the best I could. There's even a hole all the way through the windshield. Don't know why that was there, but patched that with some silicone. And then even on the corner here, ran some up along the back side and all around where everything meets. So like I said, it ain't pretty, but I think it'll get the job done. And then I ran a seam all the way across the front. So I've got a gasket plus the weather silicone. I'm hoping that'll keep anything from getting wicked in underneath. So took me a little bit longer than I expected because two of the Zerks on the driver's side decided to strip out, so I had fun pulling that apart. But otherwise, I think we should be pretty good to go here. I just got to let everything set up. It's probably about, I don't know, 50 degrees was supposed to be the high out here today, so it'll probably take a little bit longer to cure up, but I'm going to let it sit. Hopefully the sun tomorrow will help it set up, and then we'll throw the soft top back on. Unfortunately, it's getting cold enough here in Nebraska that unfortunately the days of no doors and no windows is probably going bye-bye. So, but there you go. That's what I did to fix my channel, my soft top channel, from pulling out. Hopefully it won't have any issues down the road, because this was not exactly a fun project. It was pretty easy, but it wasn't fun, especially with those two over here that decided to strip out. But I think we should be good to go. Like I said, we'll see. Time will tell if I need to redo them with the little bit bigger Zerks. But like I said, if you can find the actual Zerks you use a Zerk gun with, or that are solid all the way around, let me grab some here. If you decide to do this project, make sure you get Zerks like this. These are used for running boards. I have a bunch of them. I didn't have enough to do these with the windshield channel, but I had a bunch of these that I've used for all kinds of different projects that we used to use them for the running boards on Dodge Rams. That's why the little notched part, it actually fit into a punched out hole in the body underneath. So, but if you can get these, get these. I don't know what size they were. Honestly, I couldn't tell you the size. I mean, give me, I don't know how these are sized out, but so if you can get this a kit like these, to use these, they're a lot better, they're stronger. I had this other kit, like the one I showed you earlier, that I just had laying around, and it had enough parts and bolts and everything, so I decided to use it. All those cap bolts were part of the kit, but the Zerks themselves were kind of crap. They're pretty light duty, so I had two of them rip out, like I said, and hopefully we won't have any more pull out. It seemed like when they tightened down, but if they didn't, they just kind of were crappy. So, but if you can, get these off of Amazon or wherever your favorite online retailer, even your local hardware store. I know a lot of like Tractor Supply and farm supply places like that, Baumgars, all those places actually stock some of these. So go try and get these. I mean, you can just tell they're a lot beefier, a lot more sturdy. It's just they take up more room, and they wouldn't have fit. I think I would have run into issues with the size of them going into the windshield channel, but we'll find out as time will tell. So that's it for this one. Like I said, I'm gonna let it set up. I got a new soft top coming for this guy for the winter, because the one it came with has a bunch of holes in it, so we'll do a quick video on that one. Sorry I haven't been getting a lot of videos out. I'll be trying to get some more going here. I got a lot of material, just haven't had time to edit them. But all right guys, so a quick recap here of what I did. Took off the top, loosened the top, pulled it back, then pulled the screws out that were holding this in place of the bolts, and then pulled all the foam that they had for the seal off. Then I drilled the holes out with a 7/16 drill bit to allow for the Zerk nuts to fit in there. Tightened down the Zerk nuts, or rib nuts, however you want to call them. Then put the bolt, took the tracks, or channel, I guess, sorry, I keep saying tracks, but the channel piece, drilled out the holes to 1/4 inch, then put the bolts in, tightened everything down. Sorry, strike that. Put the weather stripping on the backside here and on the underside of the channel, then put them together, sealed everything up with some silicone, and we're gonna put this back together and see how it goes. And there we go. got the top on in the channel. It's not pulling up as of yet, so we'll see how it goes. All right, so that's it for this project. So we'll try to get you some more videos here soon. Got a little bit. Anyways, we will catch you next time on Flatland Jeeper. Hit that like, subscribe, bell, all that other good stuff. And thanks for watching. Hope this helps. Leave your comments below if you have questions, comments, anything like that. And we'll see you next time. Thanks. Bye.